In today's video, we are looking at Mattel's DC Core Line Wave 2 John Stewart Green Lantern. We will bring in the other figures from the wave just to give an overall review of the set, and then finally we'll create some cool dynamic content with this action figure. This is going to be a great video, so let's dive in. Today we are looking at the last figure of Wave 2 John Stewart Green Lantern. One of DC's first ever black superheroes, John Stewart is amongst the most fan favourite superheroes of all time. With a strong desire to make the world a better place, John Stewart joined the Marines, where he became an excellent combatant and one of the best snipers in the army. Mattel has delivered very well with Wave 2 so far, with Superman, Stealth Suit Batman and Jokerized Batman. And with the addition of this Green Lantern, they have definitely stacked this wave with big hitters. One of the most talked about things with these kids line action figures is how much value for money fans are getting. All of these action figures have been coming out with a generous range of weapons and accessories, so it will be interesting to see what we get with this figure. These figures are really leaving fans salivating at the prospect of what Mattel will be doing with the adult collector line come January 2027. On the front of the packaging, we get Green Lantern John Stewart title displayed front and center with the Mattel logo and barcode. On the side, we get the Green Lantern logo with some cool graphics above. And of course, my favorite, we get the artist rendering of John Stewart looking super cool in his heroic pose. On the back of the packaging, we get the usual product jargon. We got the action figures available in the wave, starting with Stealth Suit Batman, Superman, Jokerized Batman, and of course, John Stewart himself. We have John Stewart looking super cool above them, posing with the power ring, with a bit of a Shawn Michaels pose going on there. The accessories, or probably better termed as energy constructs with Green Lantern, come in the form of green translucent plastic, which are excellently detailed. Mattel is not holding off in terms of giving value for people's money. A lot of these are put together once snipped off these SKUs. You're essentially getting the energy chest shield, a giant glove similar to the one from Batman in the Bane 3-pack, and 2 guns. The first piece of accessory we have is the chest, shoulder and back armor protection, which connects together and clips on the back of the figure. The design is intricately decorated with the Green Lantern logo centered right on the chest. The shield is shaped well in proportion to John Stewart's physique and packs on that bulkiness needed for some heavy duty action. The back is not as well protected as the chest, but it still looks great across Green Lantern's shoulders and sculpted back. The second piece of accessory we have is the giant boxing glove, which fits nice and snug on the arm. It's a nice touch that the glove is on the arm, which carries the power ring, which is a nice place for the in-action battle. I'd probably say the giant glove fits better with Green Lantern than it did with Batman in the Bane pack, just because it's something Green Lantern would be able to devise as an energy construct, compared to Batman carrying it in his utility belt. The small blaster that comes with the figure looks like something Green Lantern can operate with one hand. It looks great for posing, but I don't understand why the handle is so short. Nevertheless, you can see Mattel has sculpted this very well. The second blaster looks like it means business, as it's larger and poses well across 2 hands. Again, you can see the details are so well with this weapon, as it shows the dials and grooves on it. For me, details like this really complements the figure well in terms of the overall aesthetic and adds to the value. For someone playing with this, you can really see this weapon doing some serious damage and adds to the excitement of play. This has to be amongst the best head sculpts in the DC line of action figures. The haircut looks sharp and neat with green piercing eyes, which really brings intensity to this character. The face is chiseled and really well defined. Overall, a great head sculpt with the skin tone definitely enhancing the sense of realism. The upper body is muscular and very well defined. Dare I say maybe the same body as Superman and Batman, as they seem like the build is the same, but we can check that out later on. The bodysuit is black and green and really makes the green pop. We can see the lantern symbol centered on the chest. The black and green continues to run across the back as we see a hole between the shoulder blades for attachments to be pegged to. Again, loving the muscular definition running across the back as well as the arms. The power ring is actually sculpted into the hand with a small bit of design in it, which again shows the attention to detail by Mattel. This subtle work enhances the visual presence of the ring and overall value for this figure. The legs really echo the same sculpt as Superman for me, as they look distinctively familiar. The standout detail for me has to be the sole of the boots, which looks like they're jagged teeth sticking out from beneath. The muscular definition looks solid, and overall the presentation with the legs looks simple, yet effective, especially with a kids line action figure. On the articulation, we see the head turns to the left, to the right, looks up and down, so smooth. You can see a bit of tilt on the right and the left. Again, it shows how well these are made. And from the side angle, you can see the figure look up and down. It's looking very heroic and very, very cool. Moving on, the arm raises a clean 90 degrees. Looking very good. Single jointed elbow being able to bend very well and rotate from the joint too. You can also see the wrist being able to articulate rotation and a small amount of tilt too. And finally, we also have some waist swivel, which is always quite snug. Moving on to the legs, you can see the leg can split a clean 90 degrees. Looking very good here. Thigh cut swivel, as with all of these core line figures. Double jointed pinless knees looking fantastic as ever. And finally you have a boot cut swivel as well. Again, very reminiscent of the Superman action figure. Upon a side-by-side comparison of John Stewart and Hal Jordan, we can see they are essentially the same body figure, which means they both have the same height, body parts, right down to even the boots. The main difference lies in the paint deco, which can be seen upon closer inspection. The head sculpts are of course the major difference here. I feel John Stewart has a narrow head compared to Hal, but that's minor. The Lantern logo is exact center on the chest for both superheroes. I feel the green on John is slightly metallic compared to the shiny green on Hal. Hal of course has more green across his abdomen. I would say the black is pretty much the same. Hal is wearing white gloves compared to John, who is wearing no gloves, but has decorated green forearms, which is quite distinctive. Even the hand sculpts for both superheroes are the same, as they have right closed fist hands and left grabbing fist hands. John has the green from his boots go right up to his knees, whereas the green on Hal cuts off below the knees. You can also notice that Hal has a shinier black finish, especially on the knees, which is quite different. Both figures look great, and the best thing about them is that you can interchange the energy constructs that they both come with to give them more variety. As you can see, the chest shield from John Stewart is a perfect fit on Hal, and the chainsaw from Hal can also be used by John Stewart to come across like a machine gun. As we look to conclude this figure review, I want to give a quick overview of set 2, and boy I tell you what a set it is. Mattel brought out the first outing of Superman in this wave with his classic look. We got the stealth suit variant of Batman in his all black attire, which has to be amongst my favourite Batman so far. And then we have John Stewart himself, who is one of the most popular Green Lanterns of all time. Any one of these superheroes can warrant being the main figure of this set. And then finally we got Jokerized Batman, who may not be the most popular, but certainly one of the most scariest villains in the DC universe. All of these figures unanimously share the same body, therefore they have the same articulation and body designs, apart from a few variations to make them distinguishable. Take for example the boots on John Stewart. Though I suspected them being borrowed from Superman, they are in fact an exact copy of the stealth suit Batman and Jokerized Batman's boots. The main difference comes in the deco and the paint job, as they are essentially bringing life to these vibrant and colourful characters. The weapons that come along with these figures extend their personas, which brings to my next point. One of the most notable things that makes these figures remarkable is the price point. Coming in at around $13 in the US and £13 here in the UK makes them so appealing to both kids and collectors. Though these are a position towards the kids, for the incredible quality of figures and value these figures pack in this economy, this makes it appealing for adult collectors to snap them up. The modular nature of these accessories encourages people to buy other figures that they may not have initially considered, just so that they can have more accessories to enhance the storytelling. Now comes the time to make some cool content with this action figure, and my mind is storming with ideas. I want to create John Stewart in space with green energy around him to sell how powerful he is. Considering how we currently have the Lanterns running on HBO, I think it would be cool to bring in Hal Jordan to capture the dynamic duo in an epic shot. So to begin with, we attach these figures to a bendy wire using hot glue. Then it's about posing the figures, and my vision is to have them both flying towards the screen at a slight angle. The benefit of using a bendy wire is that it gives a lot of flexibility when it comes to posing these action figures. Once I have posed them, I begin lighting the set. Now, as I want to show an illuminated Lanterns logo behind them, I want to light the shot with that in mind. So I have a large green light from behind and one from the side, and a simple white light from above. Once I have my footage recorded, I bring it into After Effects where I begin to rotoscope out the wires and unnecessary garbage around the two superheroes. This is followed by camera tracking the footage, and then we place some optical flares in the shot. We then add a space background, and this is where the shot begins to take shape. From here we begin to add details such as the Lantern logo and position it in the center of both superheroes and add effects to it to illuminate it. This process requires a lot of attention to detail as you stack subtle effects which helps build the overall picture. I add effects such as radial blur and turbulent displacement to give the look of motion in the shot. And then finally I add a vignette effect to bring it all together. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this review, and for more content like this, please do consider subscribing to the channel as I will be posting more stuff on this. I will be looking to do some different type of action figures in the next video, so do keep an eye out, and I look forward to seeing you then.